you think it'll be very much longer?
Well, it shouldn't be. Clinic hours are over.
Great.
Full house today.
Oh.
Leslie's working on the last patient right now.
Keeping you busy up there, huh?
Oh, yeah, Lesley told me to tell you she'll be right down.
Thank you.
I'm signing out, Jesse.
All right.
Do you got a minute? Can I talk to you for a second?
Not really. Listen, I'll be at the Rib, okay, Jesse?
You know, I was going to go to the Rib later on myself. Maybe then you'll have a minute or two for me, huh?
Are you serious?
All finished. I added a notation to stay away from fried foods.
Right.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's okay. Why don't we go over here?
Okay, what's this about?
Listen, when you talk to Rick, tell him that I've got an offer to buy the sports center.
What?
$200,000. It's a solid offer. So, either you have 30 days to match it, or you're going to have to get out.
That's not suitable at all. How long will it take? I need to know today. Very good. All right, thank you, yes. Bye. Is Charles upstairs?
Yes, resting. He seems to be doing a good deal of that these days.
Well, better that than interfering.
Who were you talking to?
Well, more importantly, who was I talking about? Vangelder.
Ah, what about him?
He's going to be delayed a few more days.
Splendid.
Quite. We can use the extra time.
Of course, if we eliminate Spencer sooner, we won't have to worry about Vangelder at all.
Yes, we have to move quickly.
Well, I'd hate to interrupt a busy man, but
Where to? One way return.
Well, honey, I don't want to go anyplace. I just wondered if you'd be so kind as to help me with something.
Some accent. You from the South?
Yes, I'm from the deep South. You picked that up quicker than a hound dog after a hare, honey.
What can I do for you? There's no bus headed south tonight, though.
Oh, I don't want to go there. I just came from there.
And what's your problem?
It's my Aunt Charlotte. I mean, I brought her all this way, and then I went and did the most awful thing. You're not going to believe this, but I lost her.
Well, this is a new one. When did you lose her?
Well, it was last night about 7 o'clock. You know, I didn't leave her but just a teensy-weensy little bitty old timer. When I got back, she was gone. Got right on that bus without me.
I'll check the schedule for you.
Well, that's mighty neighborly of you.
Where'd the bus leave from?
Oh, what a flutterbrain I am. I declare I neglected to tell you that. Shame all over me. It was that great big old amusement park, Mystery Mountain.
To buy the sports center.
It was a shock to me, too, Lesley.
Shock. I'm speechless.
Well, you see why I called you? I thought you and Rick should know right away.
Rick is in Nevada. What is he supposed to do?
I'm sorry, Lesley, really.
I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to stay calm. Collected about this. All right. Someone wants to buy the sports center. Why? For what?
I don't know.
Well, we just simply are not going to let that happen.
Well, I'm sorry, but I really don't think there's much you can do to prevent it.
What? Are you telling me that somebody can walk in off the street and hand in some money and wipe out all of our months of backbreaking and heartbreaking labor? No, Rick is not going to let that happen.
Rick agreed to it.
Rick would never agree to such a
Look,
thing.
I couldn't believe it myself, and I reread the agreement with Durnley.
We lived up to all of the clauses in that agreement. That rent's been paid on time or early. We have paid for every single improvement that we've made in that place.
Well, there was a provision that said the building could be sold at any time.
It's not fair. It's not right.
And those were the terms of the agreement.
Rick won't do it. He won't do it.
Rick signed the agreement.
Well, then there's got to be something else we can do.
Well, coming up with $200,000, that's about it.
That agreement is not valid.
Lesley, it's a legal document.
One of the people who signed it is in jail.
That doesn't make any difference.
Are you going to tell me that he is going to carry out everything that needs to be done on this agreement from a cell in prison?
He doesn't have to. You see, I have the power of attorney.
You would act for him?
I have to.
I don't believe it.
I have to honor the agreement.
You would sell the sports center out from under us. You hate us that much.
I'm sorry that you would think such a thing.
I don't know what else to think. Scotty, it's not right. Okay, you may have some resentments, you may have some angers toward us, but why do you want to take it out on a bunch of kids?
This is nothing personal.
I'm sorry. I take it personally.
Well, you shouldn't take it that way. What happened between us before is all over. Look, if I could stop this, I would do it, but there's nothing that I can do about it.
If you really meant that, you would go to this crazy person and stop them from trying to do this.
I tried, but they want to buy it.
Why? Why do they want this old, broken-down building?
I don't know. That's their business. What they do with it is not my business. It's their business.
Are they qualified?
What do you mean, qualified?
You know perfectly well what I mean. Are they for real? Do you know who they are? Do they have the money?
They made a very, very big cash deposit.
Who is it, Scotty?
Anthony Hand.
Well, I declare to my time, I just never seen so many whirligigs and flying machines in my life as I've seen out there at that mystery mountain. Oh, I declare I couldn't keep Aunt Charlotte off them. I declare to my time, 7 times, honey, she rode that Swiss twist or whatever it was, and I declare I practically had to pull her off the, what was that, Buccaneer? I believe it was a Buccaneer.
Sounds like quite a woman.
Oh, yes, but I'm so afraid that it was just a little bit too much for her. She got so dizzy and everything, doing all that tossing and turning, and that's when we went back over to the bus.
You sure it was our bus?
Well, it's got to be your bus. I mean, I saw it sitting right there. It was just when I remembered that I had left my sunglasses. Oh, my goodness, my favorite pair of sunglasses, back at the roller coaster. Well, see, I left them there with this man because, you know, you didn't want them flying off your head when you're flying on those roller coasters. Well, my goodness gracious, and when I got back, I was gone just a little bit. I left her standing right there at that bus with a nice young couple it was. And then when I got back, she just vanished into thin air.
Well, if she was on our bus, she should have been there by now.
Where?
Scranton.
Pennsylvania?
That's the only bus we had up there at 7 last night. Is that where you were headed?
Oh, good glory, no, honey. I hadn't even thought about going to Scranton.
Well, if she was on that bus, that's where she is.
Well, maybe she got off someplace else. Don't you? Did that bus go anyplace else besides Scranton?
I made a couple of stops.
Like where?
Greenpoint, Dingham's Ferry, Coal Town.
Those funny names, aren't they? My goodness gracious. Well, I just don't know what in the world I could do. She could have gotten off at any of those places. Do you think maybe I could talk to the driver?
He's in Scranton.
Well, doesn't he bring that little old bus back here?
Not till tomorrow.
Well, couldn't you tell him that I'm just sick to death about poor Aunt Charlotte? Couldn't I just call on your good graces one more time and have you call him up and see if he couldn't come back early?
It wouldn't do any good.
He'd have to remember my Aunt Charlotte if I talked to him. I'm sure he would.
Probably couldn't forget her either. But it's his day off. He always goes fishing on his day off.
Oh, whatever am I going to do?
I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could help.
Oh, you've been a great help, and I am eternally grateful for that. Well, I guess I'll just have to come back tomorrow then and ask the bus driver. What'd you say his name was?
I didn't. But it's Ben. Ben Robshaw.
Ben Robshaw. Well, that's a nice name. I bet he's a nice man. You know, in fact, everybody at this bus station's right nice, don't you think? You're a true gentleman, sir. And it's only because of that I'm going to ask one more little thing of you. Do you think that you might have a little extra copy of that bus schedule to Scranton?
Take 2 if you'd like.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow.
You know, sooner or later, Spencer or one of his cronies will put 2 and 2 together and link Holly with our swindle.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't already.
Well, apparently, Holly has covered her tracks rather well.
Too well. She should have been in touch with us by now.
Nonsense.
Charles, I thought you were resting.
Yes, obviously you did.
Feeling better, Charles?
Yes, but I must object to your line of thinking.
Perhaps where Holly's concerned, we think more clearly than you do.
Well, I trust her judgment. If she's chosen not to get in touch with us, there's a reason.
Yes, but we don't know that reason.
Well, you saw that television report from the amusement park. Spencer is obviously holding a prisoner.
I hope so.
Basil!
Now, don't get upset, Charles. What I believe Basil means is that As long as the police think that Holly's been kidnapped, we're safe.
She knows that as well as we do, otherwise she would have called.
Oh, come on, Charles. I know it's crossed your mind.
What?
If Holly's as smart as you maintain, she would have found a way.
Are you suggesting she's staying with Spencer voluntarily?
The possibility had crossed our minds.
How dare you question my daughter's loyalty to this family?
I have grave misgivings.
I should.
I resent this.
I beg your pardon?
Whatever you're saying, you can say out loud.
My dear Charles, we were merely discussing the check.
Well, Holly will write it.
No, the trouble's going to be in getting her to write it.
That's my responsibility.
It certainly is.
Yes, well, let's leave him to it. We have more urgent things to discuss. Now, I will find Spencer. You, my dear Basil, will take care of Dan Rooney. While there's still a breath in him, we're all in danger.
He just walked in, off the street, and told you he wanted to buy the sports center.
That's right, that's right. He didn't even have a real estate agent.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And you told him he could.
Oh, I had to. I mean, I couldn't refuse him. That's part of the agreement that Rick had, no more than I could refuse you and Rick if you wanted to buy it.
We want to buy it.
Okay, fine. Fine. Match the offer.
If you're asking me to write you a check right now, personally, I can't do that, Scotty.
Well, I'm sorry, Lesley. You know, I'm really hate to be the one that has to give you this bad news, but if you can't match it, I'm going to have to give it away.
No. You can stall or something. You just said we have time. You can get him to put it in writing.
He already did. That's why I already brought a copy for you, too. I copied it up there.
I won't accept this.
I'm sorry, but you're going to have to accept it. Now I've got to run. I'll see you later.
Jesse, see if you can find Joe Kelly for me, somewhere. Ask him if he can come over here right away, and I will sit in the cafeteria and wait for him. I beg your pardon.
My fault.
Sorry, Ruby. Are you all right?
No, as a matter of fact, it couldn't be worse.
Well, I know it's hard, but you realize you've got to get some sleep.
Sleep. With Dan up there and Luke God knows where, who's going to sleep?
Do you want me to prescribe something for you?
No, thank you. The best prescription for me is to get a word from Luke. I'm going over to see Robert to see if he's heard from him.
Okay, well, you let me know anytime that you hear anything, please.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ruby.
Is Ruby all right?
No, she's not. How could she be?
I know you're concerned about this, too. Very concerned.
I'm so concerned about so many things and so many people right now. I don't even know who to be concerned about first. Look at this.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get these?
Scotty.
Does Rick know about this?
No, and I don't want to tell him. I don't want to unless I can figure out something to do or get some more information or something.
What are you going to do?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I can do legally. I know what I want to do personally. I want to punch out that Anthony Hand, and then I want to tell him what I really think of him.
Well, from what I've heard about the man, it wouldn't matter to him.
Yes, I realize that. I've called Joe. See if he can figure out something to do. Scotty says the only thing we can do is to match his offer of $200,000 within a month. How do you like that, Max?
Well, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope that Joe can find an alternative.
He has to. The whole idea of the sports center was to provide the kids a place to go where they could get away from the Anthony Hands of this world. And now, look, I can't stand it. It's one problem after another after another.
Yeah, especially for Rick. And I'll have to admit, I resented the demands that place put on him.
Steve, you do know, don't you, that he tried very hard never to shortchange you here?
Oh, I know that. And in spite of all that's happened, I don't want to see those kids lose that place.
Bert made a big mistake. He shouldn't just have taken Durnley to jail. He could have given them two for the price of one. He could have included Scotty.
Sorry to bother you like this, but you could be of some help to me. Now, you say the uniforms they used are still here?
Second locker from the inn.
Do you mind if I take a look? Thank you. This is hers. No pockets in there. Nothing. You people don't believe in pockets for your employees, huh?
Whoops.
That's just the belt. Now, here's a pocket. I don't imagine he'd leave anything. He's too smart for that. Well, takes care of that. Would you by any chance remember what names they used?
She called herself Wendy Cambria.
Wendy. How about Spencer?
Kenny Tajorski. I remember because when I looked at his application, I said it was unusual.
Yeah, a lot of things are unusual about Luke Spencer.
They seem like nice people. I had no idea they were using phony names.
Well, that isn't important right now. What is important is how he was treating her. Did you get any indication at all that he might be keeping her with him by force?
Force?
Yes, up till now, we figure that he's made her stay with him.
Kidnapped her, you mean?
Well, that is a possibility. Although she did have a chance to run to the police and didn't do it. I'm trying to find out why.
Come to think of it, Kenny,
Luke.
said that she was his girlfriend, but she was uneasy all the time.
Would you mind being a little more specific?
Oh, well, for one thing, she tried to get out of here without him.
When?
The night before last.
Oh.
But the guard stopped her because she had her uniform on. It's against the rules to take part property outside.
Well, go on. Did she say anything?
Not to me. Oh, but the guard said that Kenny, Luke, said something to her and was really mad when she turned around.
Oh, well, what happened then?
They just went back into the crowd and disappeared. But, you know, the more I think about it, I bet she was trying to get away from him. But why didn't she say something to the guards? Why didn't she try to escape to the police when they were right here? So where'd they go, anyhow?
Look, if I knew all that, I'd have all the answers and I wouldn't be questioning you. But you've been a big help. Thanks for your cooperation. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Well, look at you.
Oh, I always dress the part, you know that.
Yeah, how did you go?
It was wonderful. Right out of Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, okay, look, what did you get and where is he?
Well, I didn't find out exactly.
Oh, Tiffany!
But he is in one of 3 places.
Dingham's Landing, Greenpoint, and Coletown.
Yes, and tomorrow I go back and ask the bus driver and find out exactly which one.
Well, aren't you a good girl? If I had an Oscar, I'd give it to you.
Thank you. That was much better. But I want to ask you something. I mean, suppose they did get off at one of these places. What makes you think they stayed there?
Hunch. I got a feeling Luke has holed up somewhere, and he's waiting to go and see Vangelder. I just spoke to Joe on the phone. Vangelder's going to be back in a few days.
He said that on the phone?
In code. Ramsey's people are probably trying to figure it out as we speak. So that's given us a bit more time to locate Luke and Holly.
How?
I don't know. Besides, we still have the same problem. The second I step foot off this boat, I'm going to have Ramsey right on my case.
He wasn't on mine.
Maybe I should give him a run for his money. Maybe that's it. I draw him off Luke. Luke is then free to go and talk to Vangelder and sort this mess out, perhaps. Yeah.
I'm not exactly limited to Scarlett O'Hara.
That's right. You're not, are you? Okay. All right. We'll go back over that again. You will find Luke, and I'll keep Ramsey away from you.
Sounds great. How do we do it, though?
We'll figure out a way. We're going to do it so that we find Luke, but so that Ramsey doesn't know what we're up to.
Heather, good evening.
I see my party, thank you.
I'll show you to your table.
Hi, glad you could make it.
Hi, well, I came over on my break. Would you like to see menu?
No, that's not necessary. Listen, I ordered you a salad, okay?
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you, thank you.
Would you ask the waiter to bring another glass, please, Heather?
Of course.
I hate to interrupt your evening.
Then don't.
Well, there's something I think you should know.
Excuse me. I hate to be rude, but I didn't ask you to sit down at the table.
Okay, then I'll be quick. I'll see you in court next week.
Next week?
Uh-huh.
Wow, you certainly work fast, don't you? Never did that for me.
I have a client that cooperates.
Oh, yes, I'll bet she does. I bet she just has that pen clamped in her hand all ready to pounce on those nasty depositions.
Sworn statements.
Oh, anything for a buck, Scotty. You disgust me.
Enjoy your meal.
Oh, snake. He did that deliberately.
Don't let it spoil your appetite.
What are you talking about? Ali is out of town, Alan. He isn't going to be back until next week. He's not going to be able to prepare for this.
I didn't think of that.
Well, Scotty certainly did. That's why he made the court date.
What the hell are we gonna do?
You tell me.
I don't know. We better think of something.
I'll say, because Scotty is pretty sure of himself. He's going to be coming into that courtroom loaded for bail.
Well, what are you doing here all by your lonesome?
Well, I could ask you the same thing. The last time I saw you, you were going home.
Oh, Audrey had a last-minute problem with one of her new students, Mia.
Not very good company.
Have you called Rick?
No, we don't want to. He's too worried about Chet.
You don't want to tell him about the sports center.
Not right now. No, what will it do? It will make him unhappy and frustrated because he can't get here. Maybe joking.
I got here as soon as I could. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Joe. Well, I'll leave you two alone. If you'll excuse me, I'll try to hurry Audrey along. Good luck.
Well, with more than luck.
What? What's up?
Read it and weep.
Where did you get this?
Scotty.
Figures.
Mm-hmm. Can he do this?
Yes.
Legally?
Yes.
What can we do?
Not much.
Well, that's not so. I mean, at the very least, we could match the offer of $200,000.
That's a lot of money.
But there must be some way for the community to raise that kind of money in 30 days. Isn't there?
I don't care how many men it takes. Find Holly and Spencer. The problem, my dear Basil, is our inexperience with violence.
Reluctance to use it, you mean?
Yes, well, in our previous scams, we never required it. Times do change.
As do methods.
Yes, well, we think alike, you and I.
Pity Charles doesn't see the need. He's from another age entirely.
Well, he needn't get in our way. Now, let's deal with Dan Rooney.
The problem is how. He's monitored. Bells would go off the moment he dies. And I'd be caught right there.
I'm way ahead of you, my dear Basil. Time release capsule. But not for the common cold. Cyanide. All you have to do is drop that into Rooney's mouth, and by the time it takes effect, you will be safely out of the building.
Congratulations.
I thought you'd be pleased. Well, you'll indulge me in a toast?
Would I deny you anything?
Good. That's why I ordered champagne.
I see. You've been planning this celebration.
Well, let's just call it the pre-party.
I like your brand of champagne.
Yeah.
To your genius and the success of our project.
You say that with great pride, Basil.
Well, I'm a Durban too, remember?
Yes, and not just in name, either. You know, your spirit is refreshing. I only wish Charles shared your enthusiasm.
Oh, he'll come round.
Always the optimist.
Well, hardly. But in this case, I intend to see that he does.
Oh? Would you care to elaborate?
Holly.
Ah, his obsession.
Precisely. I'm going to make him believe that her life is in danger.
He'll have our heads.
No, quite the opposite. When we rescue her from imminent danger, he'll be forever in our debt.
Good thinking. A toast. Here's to Charles climbing on our bandwagon.
Perhaps we should toast to Holly's speedy return.
Well, they say the third time is the charm.
Would you care to do the honors?
Yes, to your success.
Oh?
In getting past the guards. Once you do that, Dan Rooney is out of commission for good.
Oh, in that case, I don't think we have any problem.
Well, it might be a little harder than you think with guards outside the door.
Not with this, it won't be. Compliments of Dr. Monica Quartermain. I was supposed to turn it in. Got me into ICU once, it will again. I promise you, when I come back, Dan Rooney will no longer be a problem.
Where are you going?
Out.
I'd like more information, if you don't mind.
That's none of your business, Charles. Oh, Basil, you forgot something?
General Hospital will continue in a moment.